A lot of people are waiting for validation. Like, hey, the black seed, now they... Have you been black... What, like 30 years of your life? You never had the honey, you never had the black seed. Now, someone published a paper in Nature, and now you're woken up. Is your iman in Nature journal, or is your faith in the messenger's statement, peace be upon him? So there is a inferiority complex there, a colonized mind, waiting for the stamp of approval of the colonizer to say, now you can have honey. Now you can do your morning adhkar affirmations. It's like, why are we waiting? You know, the Lord, the Almighty promised us, the messenger, peace be upon him, promised us the blessings of this. Why are we waiting for somebody else to come along and say, yup, now it's good for you?
What I find amazing and very beautiful is that so much of what is being quote unquote discovered now, becoming prominent now in terms of habits, foods, lifestyle choices, etc., what people are sort of promoting now as good alternatives. The Prophet, peace be upon him, already showed us these things, and it was his habits already more than 1400 years ago. It's number one, to know that the Prophet, peace be upon him, did these things, and that he was the first one back then to teach them, and people are just discovering them, quote unquote, now. But then number two, to be mindful when one is doing these things and going about their day and implementing certain habits and practices, being mindful that, hey, I'm doing this because the Prophet did this.
I think the first part of that is quite a dangerous idea, which is what? Validating the Prophet, peace be upon his practices by what's popular. Because when that flips and suddenly all of that becomes unpopular, because there is a lot, I'm not saying that's your question by the Farzan, but there is people who have bought into that. There is a lurking dark idea behind it, which is the mercy to the universe, but requiring validation to take him seriously. Second point, which is, the world can confirm it now. In 20 years, all the scientific journals can say that all these practices are complete rubbish. But that's the test. We can't depend on it. You can't depend on something fluctuating and volatile when you have the constancy of the prophetic message. It's the anchor in the storm. فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى. You have held on to an unmoving anchor. Why are you looking for like these flailing and fluctuating ideas? They come and they go. So I think that's something deep in the minds of many people that needs to be corrected. But coming to your second point, if you take a bath, go take a shower, you leave. You are not rewarded for the ghusl, the spiritual or the ritual bath. You don't get the reward for that. Why? What was missing? The intention. Anything that's devoid of a conscious intention, subconscious action just done, anything void of a conscious intention will lack reward. Right? The intention makes the deed, not the other way around. The weight of the intention. And so being intentional about what we do, even if we do less, is really key. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, always emphasized this idea of quality of deed rather than quantity. Where does the quality of a deed come from? It comes from the intention. It starts before the deed actually begins. It starts here in the heart. Right? For instance, one day a group of people come to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and they complain and they say, look at these rich people. They can give charity and they can do all these acts of worship that we don't even have access to. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, says, you have access to charity. Every smile is charity. Every person you help is charity. It's not about the quantity of what they're giving. But when somebody was struggling on the road and you helped them cross the road, what was your intention? What was the weight of the deed? And so we consider them small. وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا وَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَظِيمٌ. We consider these things small, but we don't know which of these daily practices of the Messenger, peace be upon him, will be our salvation. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq used to say this. He used to say, La adri, I don't know which of the prophetic practices, if I abandon, will completely be the ending of me. That's why he used to be so firm on being consistent with them. But it's with that intention that you need to carry through those deeds. Let the intention carry the weight of the deed rather than burning out trying to do a million things.